Potato. There's some sour cream. We just got to heat it up. I don't know how. How long to microwave it? Alright, so we bought some food to eat at the show, but I didn't eat it because I was drinking and I was doing other stuff. So we got corn, we got mashed potatoes, we microwave it. We got condiments. Oh, I think all the butter melted. Fuck. We want butter. We got extra butter, but it all melted in the car. Whatever, we got sour cream. Oh, we need butter. Everything's there with butter. The potato's probably going to take 3 minutes. I'm guessing, probably 5. Huh. Hey, Kelly. Let's see if we could find something on TV. So I got extra potato and corn. I treated my boss to something to eat because orange super burger is a ridiculous amount. We have some chicken for the cat. This has to be thrown away. Have a little bit of water. All the butter melted, darn it. We got sour cream. Oh, we're gonna scrape that butter out of that stupid thing. Right, because everything's better with butter. So I really like these salt and pepper. Got some Doritos. And I got those like sea salt and vinegar. Those are really good. Those disappeared. I ate those both. I got like the remote wrist clean up. What happened to the road again? Right now, maybe the girls are on. So salt and pepper, I really like these. With lettuce, tomato, barbecue sauce, onion, and some pepperoncinis, but all the butter melted.
Gab and grab, it's fight or go home.
Bravo, likewise, right on.
You don't want to come here and fight. You're not going to be in this league, and that's why we're the best. And I love watching these guys work.
We're watching fighters, but now we know our lesson now. We're watching bull riders and barrel racers. Uh-oh. What kind of
In
it is,
addition to his kickboxing pedigree, Van Roosmalen also has a black belt in judo. He's also...
We thought the regular Doritos. I know the corn is done. But I think it's good.
Said it was, quote, deeply disappointed by the strikes and that it offered historic pay increases.
It came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here.
And on Friday, the House passed a sweeping defense policy bill, mostly along party lines. The bill, known as the National Defense Authorization Act, sets the policy agenda and authorizes funding for the Department of Defense. The bill passed after contentious debate, which led to the adoption of some controversial amendments concerning abortion and transgender health care. It now heads to the Democrat-controlled Senate. And South Korea's president made a surprise visit to Ukraine on Saturday. President Yoon Suk-yeol made the stop after his trip to Lithuania for the NATO summit. Yoon met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and this is the president's first trip to Ukraine since Vladimir Putin launched Russia's invasion in February 2022. South Korea is among the countries putting sanctions on Russia and has provided Ukraine with aid and financial support. Now to this week's top international story.
NATO is stronger, more energized, and yes, more united than ever in its history. And
all the butter melted.
More vital to our shared future. It didn't happen by accident.
Oh,
it wasn't inevitable. When Putin, his craven lust for land and power, unleashed his brutal war on Ukraine, he was betting NATO would break apart. He was betting NATO would break. He thought our unity would shatter at the first testing. He thought democratic leaders would be weak. But he thought wrong.
We have
That's President Biden vowing NATO is stronger than ever at this year's NATO summit in Lithuania. This after scoring two major victories. The first paving the way for Sweden to join the largest military alliance. The second victory coming to a consensus with allies on new security guarantees for Ukraine. President Biden and G7 leaders met with Ukrainian President Zelensky Wednesday in a major show of support. There, the U.S. and allies announced a new security package, including weapons and ammunition to strengthen Ukraine's military over the long term. Ukraine's future membership in NATO was one of the most divisive issues this year. NATO did not add Ukraine to the alliance.
So we gotta heat this up.
With Russia. However, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg made it clear Ukraine's future is
maybe stop drinking water.
We stated that Ukraine will become a NATO ally, and we also tools to help them to move towards NATO membership. So this is the strongest ever decision by NATO.
Right, the poor cat need water.
President Zelensky waited until the last
Want some milk?
for the summit this week in Lithuania, a vulnerable former Soviet nation in the Baltic region. In a statement he posted to Twitter on
Right, you need water.
Tuesday, Zelensky took issue with NATO's initial reluctance to commit to his country
gotta say,
joining
guys,
into
thanks
NATO
for
and his
wonderful
unwillingness
Sunday
to provide
brunch.
an anticipated timeline for Ukraine's entry. He wrote that he did not see sufficient readiness on
Got potato, corn on the cob, and
NATO's part to integrate Ukraine into the alliance. However, after meeting with allies, he summed up the summit
the butter
as
all
a
melted.
good
We don't have
result
any
for
more
his
butter,
country.
whatever. Oh, would you look at that?
Ukrainian delegation is bringing home significant security
Oh, we need some butter.
victory.
We're gonna go buy some butter,
Ukraine,
right?
For our country, for our
Oh, they're a little
people,
hot.
for our children. Have to know that you spend this money for nothing.
We have some water.
Not just for fun. You spend this money for our lives.
Oh, more corn and we have another potato which he didn't eat, so I guess I get to eat it. So we got a barbecue meal, which we were supposed to eat yesterday, but it was all frozen in the cooler, so we just all eat it today.
We're granted rare access to a training ground where elements of the 128th Mountain Brigade are intensive preparing. Here, 35 miles from the Zaporizhzhia sector front line, Rodan leads a platoon through drills to improve, one, their chances of survival, two, their unit's cohesion. He considers both inextricably linked.
War is not the task of one person. Our training lays the foundation for
Well, whatever. We
cooperation,
microwave
love for
it.
comrades
Try
and
that.
sisters, as well as psychological readiness
We
and
have
resilience in crisis situations, and also
lettuce,
standard decision making in a crisis situation.
right?
This unit is combat experience. This is not
Put some lettuce on there.
They're here proving. They're here
Thing of
proving the
tomatoes.
skills for how to get through Russian minefields, how to get through Russian trenches. Ukrainian forces are facing tremendous challenges in the
Sunday brunch,
offensive, not least of which is the terrain.
And
It's
then we
flat,
have
open,
some onions,
exposed.
just a little bit. A little bit of onions
When
on
you're
there.
fighting in farmland, flat fields, there's nothing out there to hide around.
Throughout this test,
Right,
we
that's it.
encourage everyone to search the landscape
Not big on
for any
onions,
natural
just a little bit.
shelters that would protect and preserve life.
We got barbecue sauce, which I'm gonna put on every bite. We have these pepperoncini. I think they're pepperoncini.
Realities firsthand. As an infantryman in a brigade that has already aggressively advanced in the counteroffensive on the
Cigarettes,
southeastern
thanks
front,
for this wonderful meal
Ukraine
today.
Army's chief general posting this video of the brigade
I'm gonna
liberating
hope.
the village of Piatihatki.
Sandwich.
But for the brigade's units on rotation to the front lines,
We have
casualties
sour
are
cream and
mounting.
potatoes. The butter all melted, so we got corn on top of no butter. Whatever.
It's no secret that the majority of our army now consists of people who were civilians, who came after the full-scale Russian invasion of our territory. They joined the ranks of the struggle against this evil.
This unit operates at the tip of the 128th Brigade's spear, hauling vital communications
What kind
and
of barbecue
surveillance
sauce is
equipment
it?
forward. Some
Oh, it's hot.
mobilized to this battalion.
I could feel it
We
through
look
the
for
plate.
opportunities to repeat our traditions, which have been handed down for almost 100.
Oh, it's too hot. We have to let it cool down. So let's let it cool down for a minute. It's too hot for me to pick up. Maybe we'll munch out on this potato,
For
eat
over
some
a
corn.
century, the 128th has trained for mountain assaults. But here on the plains of southeastern Ukraine, there are no mountains. Nothing to go around or over.
Corn on the cob.
Only Vaporet. Forward.
Coming up, former President
Oh, we gotta
Donald
pull all the
Trump's
strings
latest
off it.
request to the judge in his classified documents trial.
That's
The
bad.
strong reaction from the DOJ next. And the FDA approved an over-the-counter birth control pill, but could the pill's price still keep its
Yum,
access out
yum.
of reach?
Pretty good. Sunday brunch.
This burger, unless you like sweaty, gasping, and jalapeno, habanero, and pepper jack cheese induce hallucinations. My rewards member set your mouth on fire with a one-time El Diablo single for $6.66 from the Carl's Jr. app.
Yeah, these are pepperoncini. So worked in Vegas, right? This guy would bring these peppers. They look like pepperoncinis, right? But they're not. They're spicy fucking peppers, right? All right, fucker. So we're fucking around, and the guy could see me melting. I'm just nibbling, like one bite here, and I would eat the thing and make my face melt off, right? He's all, what is that? That's I'm Italian pussy, right? He ate the whole thing. Oh my god, he died. He's on white peppers.
10% below MSRP on all
And not pepperoni.
Ram 1500 big
It
one models.
was the funniest shit ever.
Is it possible to protect my business from cyber threats?
You said, how about y'all? That's not no pepperoncini or some shit. That was fucking rolling.
Yours, your employees, even hers too. Safe, secure, and powered by the next generation 10G network. With Comcast Business, advanced security isn't just possible, it's happening.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months. Plus, ask having up to a $750 prepaid card.
What happened, Spot?
Awakening returns to Wynn Las Vegas. Restaged and reimagined. Experience the jaw-dropping spectacle in one of the most immersive theaters ever created.
Spot's been coming by in the morning. Sometimes she comes at night, but sometimes she misses at night. Blue, Tiger, and the other varmint, they're here every day.
Awakening live in Las Vegas.
Baked potato. Do you know what it's like? I don't cook, right? Someone else cooked it. Really good baked potato. Sour cream. We just need to overdose it with butter. Darn it. Well, the corn is really good. No butter. But I overdose it in butter. But really good.
She sent it to Worthy, where they took care of everything and auctioned it on her terms. Then Worthy sent Lila her money. You're worthy of more. Get started at worthy.com.
Did you know you can keep
there's a little bit of butter in here.
Number, same cell network, and lightning fast
Cooked raw
coverage?
butter. We got to put on the other potato.
Bundles and those celebrity
or the
ads
corn.
that jack your bill way up. Save up to
Right, put it on the
$600 a
corn.
year with Red Pocket Mobile.
On Thursday, the Justice Department urged a federal judge to reject Donald Trump's efforts to postpone his classified documents trial. Last month, federal prosecutors proposed a December 11th trial date, but the actual date will be up to a judge. Trump's lawyers motioned Monday that proceeding with a trial within 6 months was unreasonable and would result in a miscarriage of justice with Trump running for re-election. Special counsel Jack Smith responded to Trump's request to delay the trial, saying, quote, many indicted defendants have demanding jobs that require a considerable amount of their time and energy or a significant amount of travel. He went on to say the Speedy Trial Act contemplates no such.
So now let's try the sandwich. We've never eaten here, but we hear there's a lot of hype.
I think that's ridiculous.
Even though it's microwave, it's jail, who cares?
Purpose of a trial and this kind of indictment is to insulate it
Barbecue
from politics.
sauce.
And so
it's still hot.
The fact that you would wait for a political event to happen when he may not even be the nominee is sort of silly. You can't let your trial date be set as on this future event that may never happen at all.
Trump is charged with 37 felony counts related to the mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. The former president has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Meanwhile, in Georgia, a grand jury is now at work looking at another case involving the former president and his alleged attempts to overturn his loss in the state during the 2020 presidential election. On Tuesday, Fulton County prosecutors began grand jury selection for the jurors who will hear the case for indictments against Trump. The most serious charges expected are racketeering charges, which could carry as much as a 20-year sentence per count. A special grand jury impaneled last year by Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis is already recommending charges. The Morning Rush team caught up with a former Georgia Senator, Jen Jordan, who testified before that panel on what she thinks will happen next and the significance of this case.
But the Georgia case is so incredibly important and different with respect to what the allegations are, who was involved. I mean, think about all of the really high-profile characters that may be implicated and may be indicted, and including former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Right. I mean, it is really going to be a cast of characters. And I think Georgia really needs to be ready because once that indictment does come down, I mean, we are going to be the center of the universe.
Why do you think DA Willis here laid out weeks ago this timeline? She's been telegraphing not only the dates, but that, an indictment is coming because she's taking steps that she expects to get an indictment in this case and did it weeks ago and has told people work from home, kind of almost clearing the stage for all of this to happen. Some of these grand juries got together.
Hey, all of us like grass-fed or something.
It made sense. Because that has fit to her timeline all
Even microwave.
It's going to happen between July 31st
or day
and
old,
August
right? So good.
18th. So Does the grand jury finally getting down to business line up nicely with that timeline?
I think it was probably, that's what she based her timeline on.
Right.
She knew when the next grand juries were going to be impaneled. She knew when she was going to be presenting the case to one of these grand juries, and we don't know which one, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things. She's trying to be, I think, as transparent as possible, and not
we got
political,
potatoes
and
and
not
corn,
look like she's
right?
trying to game anything or be political, and just say, look, this is the way the system works. I'm going to present the case at this period of time, so that's when we can expect an indictment to come down.
As if this thing goes down the next few weeks, which is widely expected, is there any scenario, do you believe, where what the DA is doing here impacts or interrupts the calendar with the New York case or the special counsel's case at all? How do those things potentially intersect? Do they speed up or delay each other? How does that all work out? There's 3 indictments now potentially.
You know, they shouldn't impact each other because the facts are so different. Usually if there are two different kind of prosecutions that are along the same lines,
I've been drinking early.
that can cause trouble. But because of the allegations in the Georgia case are
So Sunday brunch, yum.
and specific and special to the state
One
of
of the
Georgia,
best ones.
they should not, impact the others. But as we know with Team Trump, they're going to do whatever they can to delay. That is their legal strategy: delay, 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 and then of course, then he'll say, "Well, now I'm running for president," and it's all political, right? That is the strategy.
Yes.
We know what he's going to do. So if I'm the district attorney here,
Oh my
I'm
God,
going to
no
do
butter.
everything I can to make sure that this case is treated just like any other in terms of normal due process, and try to get this tried as quickly as possible.
You fully expect an indictment?
I fully expect it.
And one that goes beyond the president, former president.
I think it's going to grab the president, and I think it's going to grab a lot of people, including folks like John Eastman, Mayor Giuliani, his legal team, who was kind of part and parcel, and then the folks who were behind the fake elector scheme. And so especially with these fake electors here in Georgia who have flipped and who are giving testimony, that says a lot to me, because you're not going to give immunity to a witness who doesn't offer you anything.
Oh, you flipped?
And in another case involving the former president, the Justice Department reversed course, saying it no longer believes Donald Trump should be entitled to immunity for his response to E. Jean Carroll's accusation of sexual assault. That move allows the case to move forward. The change eliminates one legal hurdle in Carroll's 2019 defamation lawsuit against the former president for statements he made. Trump denied her allegation of rape and said he didn't know her. In a statement Wednesday on Truth Social, Trump reacted to the DOJ's decision, saying it was part of a witch hunt and was a political move. Well, Prime for Danger, a YouTube star's energy drink, is raising red flags.
Oh, the energy drink, Prime.
And now the FDA is involved. We'll explain.
But I'm old enough to drink it. It's not good for kids. Got too much caffeine or something. Oh, I can drink it. Oh, baby stop.
Head out with the Stevens family. Road trip with the Sanchez family. And discover your best.
So the barbecue is very good. You got potatoes. What a wonderful brunch. A little bit of onions. Try to eat all the colors.
Sleepovers just aren't what they used to be. A house full of screens, basically no hiccups. Back in my day, it was scary stories and flashlights. How old are you? Like 80?
Introducing the next generation 10G network.
The barbecue sauce is good. I'm imagining it's their own kind.
Beef, jalapeno, pepper jack, bacon, habanero. Your mouth will be on fire. Tell your mouth, El Diablo, maybe do. My rewards members can get a one-time El Diablo single for $6.66 in the Carl's Jr. app.
There is no healthy way to work on a laptop. It's only a matter of time before you're going to feel the negative effects.
We'll warm it.
The obvious solution is our award-winning laptop.
Are you gonna behave?
Create an ergonomic setup.
Are you gonna invite me? Come over here.
Our laptop stand holds multiple devices and converts your workstation into a standing desk in seconds.
Project
and
you,
it's
little
an
bitch.
impressive way to create a
Come
strong
here.
presence on a Zoom call. Perfect as a second monitor or charging station.
A
Lightweight
little-
aluminum design.
right, that's right over
easily
there.
And fits
Little
right into a backpack
press.
or purse.
My name is Baker.
Oh, you like it? You good to lazy? Come and get it? You don't like to be hand fed?
Would you please
Problem.
turn the lights off?
That's all you get.
Alexa, thank you so much.
You are so very
You got cat food, like, right?
What I used to picture forever, it was always with the same boy. The future. Is unclear, but it's still mine.
Live tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Scripps News.
This week, the FDA approved the first ever birth control pill you can
We're
get
going
for
with one of them other peppers
The
that
oral
look like this
contraception
one.
oat
And
pill
you
will be
can do
available over the counter at drugstores, grocery stores, and online. The FDA says the daily pill is safe and is expected to be more effective than other non-prescription contraceptive methods. The manufacturer is still determining the price and when it will be
we have
available
more.
on shelves. Overall, doctors and healthcare providers are
So we have
celebrating
another
the
one.
news surrounding
Same
the
thing.
oat
We can
pill.
put lettuce,
But as Fox
tomatoes.
News' Jenna Bree reports, some have concerns. She has more from Salt Lake City.
We are really excited, especially in the OBGYN world. We've been pushing for this for a really long time.
Dr. All the lettuce on here.
says reputable medical organizations have been supportive of the FDA authorizing
Got tomatoes, got a little bit of onions.
for a while.
It's safe for a huge variety of patients. There are very few
Pepperoncinis.
contraindications to this, and so that's why it's pretty easy to understand why it's becoming available over the counter.
The O pill only has progestin in it, whereas many of the birth control pills prescribed today also have estrogen.
Progestin only pills have been deemed kind of a mini pill in the past, and they've often been used for patients who are breastfeeding, where you don't want to have estrogen exposure to a baby, or maybe for patients who have contraindications to an estrogen. There is less risk of blood clot.
O-pill is expected to be available
More
over the
barbecue. We
counter
have a little
in
bit of onions. We can
drugstores,
put a little bit of
grocery
onions
stores,
on there.
and convenience stores, as well as online in early 2024.
Without any age restrictions over the counter, it's very similar to any other OTC drug where, a 16-year-old can go in and buy ibuprofen and Midol and whatever is out there as well.
Some Utahns are skeptical of birth control pills being available to everyone so easily.
Does that mean that girls underage will be able to do that? What kind of regulations are there going to be? Do they have to show
Yeah, that don't sound very good.
ID, and their age, prove their age?
Gail Ruzicka has questions about how children in the U.S. will be protected.
There has to be a way to prevent young girls underage going in and buying birth control and their parents not know it.
But Dr. Woodcock says her only concern is how much the pills will cost and if it truly will make birth control more accessible once it's on our shelves.
I think it is a message to kind of the scientific and also public community that we should trust our patients to understand their medical problems and trust that they can read what is safe for them.
I'm Jenna Bree, Scripps News.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is now asking the FDA to investigate the Prime energy drink, which has grown in popularity among younger consumers. The energy drink has already been banned at some schools in Australia and the UK. It's among a growing number of new energy drinks with larger amounts of caffeine. Health and Science reporter Lindsay Thies has more.
So we have another sound from, we're going to eat this other potato, the half.
It came out this year, and it has the same caffeine amount as about 2 cups of coffee. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that no child under 12 years old should drink caffeine whatsoever, and that 12 to 18-year-olds should drink no more than about 100 milligrams a day, and that is about a cup of coffee's worth. The stimulant impacts their bodies quicker than adults.
Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for regulators to take a hard look at Prime energy drink.
Asking the FDA
to investigate crime for number one, its claims, number two, its marketing aimed at kids, and number three, its eye-popping caffeine content.
Last year, we introduced Prime Hydration.
This year, we're introducing a brand new product, Prime Energy.
YouTube star Logan Paul is the face behind Prime Sports and Energy Drinks. The drink is popular, more than 116.8 million views for the term Prime Energy on TikTok, and more than 78 million views on TikTok for a meme, "We got Prime Boys."
Boys. We as physicians are very concerned. These drinks and the amount of caffeine in these drinks can give children and teens headaches. It can give them jitters, nervousness. It can interfere with the sleep cycle, which is so important to the developing brain.
A 12-ounce can of Prime Energy contains
Do you know how many kids I gotta wait in line
caffeine
at Starbucks?
compared to
A bunch of
other
rugrats in front of me.
popular growing energy
You getting more
drinks.
Starbucks
It's
than me?
about twice as much as
Yeah.
a 12-ounce can of Red Bull, the same as a 12-ounce can of Celsius Original drink, and less than a 16-ounce can of Bang Energy drink. Some schools in the UK and Australia have banned Prime Energy. Scripps News reached out to reps for Paul, Prime Drinks, and their co-owner and manufacturer, Congo Brands. A media rep for Prime responded with a statement noting the importance of the difference between their sports drink and energy drinks, also saying in part their energy drink has a warning label and is not made for anyone under 18. Adding, quote, "We welcome discussions with the FDA or any other organization regarding suggested industry changes they feel are necessary in order to protect consumers," end quote. The FDA considers energy drinks a conventional beverage, not a dietary supplement. And the FDA and the USDA, they right now don't have a limit or a restriction for how much is too much when we're talking about caffeine in an energy drink. The FDA does, though, have some suggestions, no more than 400 milligrams a day. That's for healthy adults. In terms of what that 400 milligrams looks like, that's roughly 4 cups of coffee, about 10 cans of regular soda, or 2 cans of certain energy drinks. Lindsay Thies, Scripps News, San Francisco.
Temperatures are still brutal from coast to coast, but ocean waters are exceptionally warm too. What a warming Atlantic could mean for the peak of hurricane season.
Awakening returns to Wynn Las Vegas. Restaged and reimagined.
Awakening.
Experience the jaw-dropping spectacle in one of the most immersive theaters ever created. Awakening live in Las Vegas.
It's Nick Cannon here, and I'm super excited to announce my new show on the AMP app. It's called The Daily Cannon. Oh yeah, live and unfiltered. Me to you, we getting to it, baby. Yes, I'm taking live calls. We playing live music. We talking about current events, everything that's going on in the world, from social media to my personal life. You know, we gonna have some fun with it. All you gotta do is download the AMP app and follow at Nick Cannon. That's me. And if you're on Android, go to onamp.com. It's The Daily Cannon, baby.
I was going to give it to you know what? That fucker's been around so long. I don't know how long it's been since I did audience work. Yeah, I used to do it for that fucker show.
You're not attempting this burger unless you like sweaty, gasoline, and jalapeno, habanero, and pepper jack cheese induced hallucinations. My rewards member set your mouth on fire with a one-time El Diablo single for $6.66 from the Carl's Jr. app.
Babel focuses on natural conversation. You can speak and pronounce with confidence.
That corn on the cob is so good, like a vegetable or something. It's really good.
On Thursday, close to 1/3 of all Americans were under heat alerts, sweltering under a giant heat dome stretching from coast to coast.
and there's no relief in sight. Longer-term temperature outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center point to above normal temperatures across Southern California,
That one's
the
so good, it's much
Southwest,
better than the other one.
South and Florida through
I went
next
to the other
week.
one, it says
Tuesday,
13,
the White
14,
House
they
announced
charged me
leaders there will
$20.
meet
It's
with
like,
mayors,
what is that?
local and tribal
Lunch.
officials to
What
develop
is
a
this?
national heat
The menu.
strategy. They want to provide assistance for underserved communities and better prepare them
And
for
when we went in there,
heat.
like,
No word on
we
when
said
meeting
that
will
one,
happen
and
yet,
they say, oh
but it
no,
is
that's
scheduled for
different
this month.
price.
Well, the Farm Worker Association of Florida says the high temperatures are tough on their crops, too. Most Florida farmers wrap up their harvesting season by June because the extreme heat makes it difficult for plants to properly grow. Mary O'Connell with Scripps News Tampa Bay reports.
Despite the blistering heat,
This one's much better.
and all that Florida sunshine, Rosa Gomez says it's all in a day's work.
We're kind of used to the heat. Well, this is what we work normally.
She works at Parksdale Farms in Hillsborough County. On Tuesday, she and other workers trimmed down blackberry bushes for the upcoming season.
Blackberry
Even
bushes.
with an overcast morning, we all know how humidity can pack a punch.
But usually when it's so hot, we just take our break, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just to stay over the heat and get plenty of water.
And you may notice workers like Rosa wearing long-sleeved, thin shirts. That's actually done on purpose.
Once you sweat, your shirt becomes a little wet and you get a little bit of a breeze, and then you kind of stay cooler that way. You're keeping the sun off your skin because we're in the sun, you know, most of every day, all day.
Matt Park is the farm manager and operations manager at Parksdale Farms. He tells me when it's hot like it has been, they only work until about noon.
Mexicans that wear sweatshirts,
but also because of the workload that we have. During summer, we're really not doing that much. So to extend the days that we're working, we'll work half days.
And of course, they make sure all workers are staying hydrated, making the most of every hot summer day.
We do what we love, and
I
we
think
love what we
you.
do.
I got to drink how many gallons of water every day?
Even in
Is it
the high
just
heat.
above
I'm Mary
95 or
O'Connell
something?
for Scripps News.
The ocean around the east coast of Florida is also experiencing its hottest temperatures
California,
on
right?
record.
Vegas, they don't
And
give a
it's
fuck if
affecting
it's
how
200
storm
degrees.
forecasters
You better
think
get your
this
ass to work.
hurricane season will
Here
be.
it said, well,
Scripps
you got
News national
over 95, you better drink 2
correspondent
gallons of water,
Jane
make
Grossman
sure.
from Florida.
If you're in this region of the country at this time of the year, this is where you want to be. But this year in particular, the water off the Florida coast is less of a reprieve from the heat as it is just
That's warm water over there.
It's just like you're looking for that cool, refreshing instant, and it's just not there. It still beats being out here, but I wish it were cooler, can't lie.
Oh,
Rosa Lamella
pepperoncini.
is the executive director of the Mark Sorensen Youth Sailing Program in Key Largo, and it's even been too much for her, a 20-year native of the area.
It seems like we've been under a heat advisory for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Florida is experiencing one of its hottest summers in recent memory. Miami has seen a heat index of more than 100 degrees for 30 straight days. But the same goes for the water, which has seen some of its warmest readings on record. Across the Florida Keys, water temperatures are anywhere between 1 and 5 degrees warmer than normal. In Bob Allen, Florida, for example, the water is in the mid-90s.
What does that mean, more sauce?
Nearly 88 degrees. Those 5 degrees might not sound like much, but to scientists, it is.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but small temperature changes
Oh,
make
it
big
is.
differences in how the atmospheric circulation responds, and that's obviously critical for what happens with the
Humans are
hurricanes.
very temperate.
Is a
100
senior
degrees.
research scientist at Colorado State University, one of the country's most highly regarded hurricane prediction centers. In late May, his group predicted 15 named storms this season, with 7 of them being hurricanes. But because of the record warm waters in the Gulf and the Atlantic, they updated those numbers last week to 18 named storms with 9 hurricanes. It would make this year an above-average hurricane season.
Given how warm the Atlantic is, I mean, that certainly is, certainly giving me a lot of pause when we started to do these seasonal forecasts. In an El Nino year, we'd be forecasting a pretty below normal hurricane season, but because the Atlantic is so warm, we're actually now forecasting a little bit above normal hurricane season.
One of the main reasons for that warmth is a
You
lack
can tell I
of
got
trade
measure
winds
once.
that circle the Earth near the equator. Normally, those winds churn up the ocean, bringing colder water to the top. But a milder season has caused the warmer water heated by the sun to stay up thin. If a hurricane does form, that warm water then acts as a generator for stronger storms, like Hurricane Ian, which battered the Florida coast last fall after undergoing rapid intensification.
Ian Grossman, Scripps News.
And the other top weather story this week, relentless rain leaving parts of Vermont under feet of water. The slow-moving storm dumped 2 months worth of rain on the state in just 2 days, leaving entire cities underwater. This is what the capital of Montpelier looks like after a record-breaking 5.28 inches of rain fell on Monday. Some parts of the state were drenched with 48 hours worth of torrential rain. 80 miles south of Montpelier in the hard-hit town of Ludlow, more destruction left behind. You can see that here. An entire section of the rail line now suspended in midair after heavy rains washed the ground underneath away. And floodwaters left much of the town's streets looking like riverbeds littered with mud, rocks, and other debris. Meanwhile, Vermont Governor Phil Scott tweeted a photo of himself hiking to an emergency response center after the storm. The roads surrounding his house were impassable. Governor Scott warned that the damage done by these historic floods is tremendous and that it will take time for Vermont to recover.
I know thousands of Vermonters have lost homes, businesses, and more. The devastation is far-reaching. Although the coming days, weeks, and months will be incredibly difficult, we've faced challenges before. And Vermonters have risen to meet the moment.
And after the flood comes the cleanup. Communities are now just trying to pick up the pieces, with many parts of the state still waterlogged. Scripps News national correspondent Chris Conti has the latest.
Now that the water is receding across Vermont, it's given us a chance to get out into some of those smaller, more rural communities. And the damage we found is profound. All as homeowners are now trying to figure out what kind of coverage they may have for insurance.
Enough rain.
The last thing they needed in Vermont on Thursday was more rain, and yet it fell once again.
The water line was right here, so where the silt ended.
California farmers,
could do, but
these insurance are not going to insure your house in California.
We were standing out here we saw the pavement just go like that.
Oh, wow.
Bridges in Marshfield, Vermont were no match for the Winooski River as it reached historically high flood levels on Monday.
The roadway got eaten away.
Debris along the riverbanks is pervasive. So too is the other shock many residents are still processing.
This is still at least, you know, 3 times the amount of water that we normally have this time of year.
Floodwaters across the state have slowly receded, but mudslides remain a concern. Farmers are dealing with washed out crops. And Johanna Tebow,
it was a true flash flood,
has months, maybe years of repairs ahead of her.
And so it just took off the back of our building.
Oh, wow. Tebow tried her best to protect her hardware store in Cabot, Vermont.
It turned into that within a couple of minutes.
Aww. She showed us, though, there was simply no stopping the water. Tebow and her husband eventually were rescued.
It was remarkable and terrifying to be on that side of it and watching it. The water was so strong.
In a town of 220, Harry's hardware store is both a general store and a meeting place.
This is my first trip into town since Monday.
Which is why Johanna Tebow feels a sense of responsibility to fix the foundation, shoring up both her building and her community.
We need to be here.
As for where life's waters flow from here, Adam Woodmaster and countless other homeowners know they'll be getting well acquainted with FEMA flood policies.
This is what I was just about to look through. It's a FEMA claim book.
This lifelong Vermonter is grateful that earlier this year he decided to purchase insurance. More importantly, though, he's just grateful to be here.
Yeah, what are kind of your lingering thoughts now that it's been a couple days?
Mostly gratitude that nobody around me got hurt.
Floodwater swept plenty away, but much like the mountains here, Vermonters are still standing strong. Chris Conti, Scripps News, Marshfield, Vermont.
And still ahead, we'll celebrate the centennial birthday of decorated Tuskegee Airman James Harvey. We'll join him to take a look back on the journey that played a major role in shaping a future for black pilots in the military. That's after the break. And we want to hear from you. Call us on our Scripps News viewer hotline toll-free at 1-833-4SCRIPPS. Share your comments and story ideas with us anytime.
Our guiding star has shattered.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
Shards scattered across the world. regret once and for all.
I was closing the fan. So I ate the whole potato, ate the corn. Got a couple slices of tri-tip left.
The all-day 2 for $5 deal savings. Try a new spicy little cheeseburger, spicy chicken sandwich, cheeseburger, or French toast dips, and more. Pick any two all day. $5.
Oh, yum, yum. I just picked out. We'll throw all this stuff away. Oh, that was wonderful. Oh my goodness, that was so good. Now I have to do the dishes, darn it.
Are you taking out
right
one
now.
line at a time when you've got thousands on a battlefield?
Monday night at 8, 7 Central, only on Scripps News.
Black fighter pilots known as the Tuskegee Airmen defied expectations and broke barriers. Their success opened doors to opportunity for African Americans in the military. And ahead of his 100th birthday, one of the 3 remaining airmen spoke with National Force.
Oh my goodness, that was one of the best meals we've had in such a long time.
Wearing each medal with pride and honoring that now famous red jacket, Lieutenant Colonel James Harvey has seen the world from a vantage point few have experienced.
There were questions of finding what I was capable of and believing what we were capable of.
Known for their red-tailed aircraft and the street of red jackets, Lieutenant Colonel James Harvey is a Tuskegee Airman fighter pilot, one of a handful living today.
Each one of us wanted to be the best.
Fighter pilot by the time that it wasn't even an offshoot for a black man, Harvey jumped at the opportunities and the roads, even if it was a so-called experiment. The training was tough. The airmen who wished at times were satisfied by their own military were tougher.
The washout rate for white cadets was running at 63%. The first class that went to Tuskegee was 40%. They said, no.
Yum, yum.
This will never happen again. And that's why only 996 graduated.
Despite the obstacles, the Tuskegee Airmen would down more than
I got a little bit of Doritos left.
eventually contributed to the desegregation of the military.
This is potato corn. This is Mexican. I have a little bit of chicken for the cat.
First Top Gun style competitions and won despite their outdated aircraft. In 2022, the military recognized that victory.
Finally, almost 73 years later, it's in the books. We were listed as unknown. The winner was listed as unknown. But we knew who won.
Harvey went on to become the first African-American U.S. Air Force fighter pilot in the Korean War, completing more than 120 missions. When asked if he was ever afraid,
No, if you're fully a fighter, you can never feel afraid. You better stay on the ground.
the proud father is celebrating 100 years of life with the people he loves.
We grew up with him as being our dad. So when people get excited about, your dad's a war hero, and I'm like, he's my dad.
Traveling the country and telling his story, his family is working to make sure Dad's legacy and the legacy of those who don that now famous red jacket lives on.
If you've met one,
oh my God, that was like the 4th of July meal or something.
You've met them all. They all have this certain air about themselves and about what they've been through, what they do today.
For some reason, I didn't eat.
They want most people to remember them by.
Yesterday.
That's for me. That's important.
Harvey is taking it all in strides.
I went to In-N-Out Burger at the very end.
Spreading that same message of determination that took him to unimaginable heights.
Now his family tells me
Today we got
he has
brunch.
many
Oh,
more
thank goodness.
appearances on his schedule,
Goodness.
wanting to make sure that that history that took so long to receive recognition is never forgotten. Amber Strong, Source 6, Washington.
Well, it's been a year since the launch of the James Webb Telescope. Up next, we celebrate
Hey, Jamie.
a surprise from space and break down what researchers have observed.
Corn on the cob is so good, right? I'm picking my teeth. Yeah, it's so good.
Do not attempt to eat this burger.
I know we didn't have any butter. We got like some butter, but it melted.
And pepper jack cheese.
So I didn't eat it. I got it for yesterday. I bought one for my boss because he was like, and then one day he took me out for burgers and stuff. It was like $40. Burgers, fries, and soda pop. And then chips and Doritos really kicked in. This one there's hardly any left. And then we got this sea salt and vinegar one is really good.
Yo, it's your man, a.k.a. Mr. Lockjaw.
Listen, candy.
We are here.
Smoke syrup.
On set, taking photos, chopping it up with my new
need
show,
some
The
water.
Daily Cannon on End. It's all about the turn up music. It's all about the energy. I gotta have a good time. I gotta have fun. We up
So it's a
early,
little
we
hot.
active,
I woke
we
up drinking, so
You can
that's
talk
why
to
I'm
me,
trying
I
to
can
sober
talk to
up.
you. We can call in. We can play great music. We're gonna have fun each and every day. Let's go.
No matter, no matter. You have no messages, not a single one. Not even from your mother.
Let's hear some music. We probably could get the dead on the YouTube channel and watch it, like the show tonight. You guys can't watch it, but maybe we get to see it. On one of those Deadhead channels. Oh my God, that barbecue thing was so good. And you could taste the difference between this barbecue. You could tell it's fresh, grass-fed, whatever, from the other barbecue. You sure can.
Are, and we properly and legally disposed of them. You have 3 seconds. Any manager worth his salt will make lemonade from lemons.
These lemons get people killed.
Remember, the paperwork can't have kickbacks. Recycling company was paying you for the contract.
My department, yes. The sale of valuable goods is legal.
So you knew they were going to sell the body armor?
No, they were going to sell raw silicon carbide. It's used in making the ceramic plates in the armor. It's also used for making everything from car brakes to LED lights. That's why they pay us. Look, if the recycling company is not destroying the vests for the raw materials, it's not my problem. Legally, we are in the clear. Boss,
You turning your back makes you just as guilty.
Personally, I feel bad, but my job is to audit the company, nothing more.
Yeah, well, we got plenty more.
What like it?
You received 6 calls from Faye Gussman in the last 24 hours. She runs more than just the Gun Expo.
She owns the recycling company.
Well, look at that. You and good old Gus are BFFs.
It's loaded with butter, right? We want butter. All the butter melted. It was really good without butter. Right?
She called me when the vests were found in the crash. She said she wanted to tie up loose ends so it didn't get
So
back
we're
to her.
burnt out already, believe it or not. Midday.
You knew the vests were never going to be recycled.
No. But I want to call a lawyer.
You call Gus first.
What? What for?
You two are gonna have a meeting.
Huh? It's Sunday. Everybody relaxing. Young and Needy, they're probably streaming, right? Barrel, right? Oh, you can't run that fast. You gotta watch out.
NCIS! Get out with your hands up! Go.
She wearing one of those vests that ain't no good. Oh, Piper. Come on, Piper. You're supposed to put your head. A bishop. Oh, she got a good vest.
Lucky you got the real thing. Can't say the same thing for Miss Gussman. She tried using one of those faulty vests as a last resort.
Is she dead?
It all comes around, Bishop.
Come on, Bishop. Hollywood.
Hey.
Hey, back. Just got word from Afghanistan. Marine unit made it back safely.
Yes, we found the rest of the faulty vests in Gussman's storage unit. All body armor's
I got
Oh, nice work.
You too.
Thanks for including me. It was good.
You ready to be back?
Oh, no. I think I still have a few things I need to figure out. Plus, I need some more time with this puppy. Well, I'm thinking Bishop might need it more than me. Hey!
Kind of
Hi,
boss.
little nuts. Bruised ribs.
Aw.
Can't breathe. Part of the job.
No, it isn't. But the paperwork is.
Agent Gibbs, do you mind if Tim gives me your rifle?
Yeah. They can take you to breakfast first.
Sounds good.
Actually, boss, I had another stop in mind. It might take a little longer.
Take as long as you need to.
What are you two talking about? Should I be worried?
No. Go. Go.
Yum yum.
Yeah, this is weird.
We need more
Creepy.
water.
Why is there a wheelchair in the middle of that field?
We're gonna hang glide down.
Bullseye! 7 out of 10. Be right over, Agent McGee.
So he's...
I wanted you to meet him. He went through some of the same things you have, and well, I thought a talk would be nice.
Thank you. Come here. But if we're already here, we should do more than just talk.
What do you mean?
Always wanted to go skydiving.
Skydiving?
I'll jump if you do.
Alright, don't puss out. Alright, well, anyways, not a whole lot going on. I think we're just gonna end my stream. Maybe we'll start it later. Feed the varmints. But everyone have a wonderful day. Not a whole lot going on. So happy Sunday, everyone. Cheers. Have a great day.
What took you so long? I was in bed. I was going to sleep in it.